Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be going over some games from my most recent Rank 30 Brawler tick. So I did it in Dual Showdown on Cavern Churn. In the start of the second replay, I'll go over the gadget and star power I recommend. I did do this push at level 8 because I don't believe you need a star power. But that's just me personally. So obviously off rip, like every Showdown game, you're going to want to get as many boxes as possible. Normally, if there's not a lot, for Cavern Churn, there's always going to be some cubes on the spawn in the corners. A lot of people forget about them. So what I'd normally do is send the tick on the outside to get them and then the bow to get mid control. But in this case, it was a lot, so we just gathered them together. So right here, we're not really teaming. We're in VC, so we're talking about backstabbing them. So we get the opportunity. It doesn't go so well, but we'll get them eventually. We try not to team, but sadly in duos you have to right now the way it is. I'm sure we'll get past you. But you can see the value of the gadget right here. I can just knock him the storm and finish him off. So we're in a pretty good position. On Cavern Churn, this is the best spot to be in. You can have your tick sit out there with the totem and then have your bow enter in right there and just, you'll see in a sec where he goes. He's just charging up his mines. So with the tick on the totem, it's really toxic because you can just chain those tick heads as you see, getting a few out every second if they hit. Yeah, so this Shelly tries coming down, but I can just throw my tick head to tank a lot of the damage and pretty easy kill. So we're in a pretty good spot. Like I said, this is probably the best spot to be in. Sadly, my teammate gets chained by mines over there and goes down. But I'm able to just pick up all the cubes, not a big deal. Pretty much have the win secured when you have this many cubes. I swear I saw someone up there, but I guess there was no one there. Everyone's spawning back in, so now it's just like the final fight right here. Like I said, we pretty much got the win in the bag just because Tick's amazing control. That's pretty much going to wrap up the first game. Alright, so now I'm going to go over star power and gadget. Obviously, you're going to need the last hurrah gadget. Basically does invincibility for 1 second and then 1,000 knockback. 1,000 damage as well as knockback. And then star power, if you have it, I'd go for the well-oiled because you don't really need the extra reload speed because if you're a good enough tick, you can have pretty solid control if you know how to spread out your shots and conserve ammo. But obviously I did not use one. So I believe this is just another good replay we had leading up to the rank 30. Probably around 970-ish, I think. So yeah, like I said, send the bow middle, tick on the outside, grab any remaining cubes. After you play a map for a while, you'll learn every single cube spawn. So easy to take out that tick. He wasn't near his bow. I would always enter the same entrance as your bow so that doesn't happen to you. We're just going to set up the totem really far out this time because we knew there was a few other ticks in the lobby. We didn't want to just get poked off. That's really annoying. So yeah, right here we're just keeping the pressure on, just throwing my shots, getting those heads out. Because the heads are really powerful in a bush because they just pop up on you. Unless you have a bow vision, you don't really have time to react. Right here I wanted to save the totem, so I just used the gadget. It's not a big deal. If you have the health, you can tank it. But sometimes it's better to just use a gadget. So I knew the head came from down there, so I went down to break the totem and just be annoying. I mean, that's what Tick's really made for. Just keep cycling the heads. I almost went down there. But the gadget saved me, that's why it's so powerful. So that Tick is pretty much pinched right there. I'm able to take out the Carl and the other Tick right there. And now it's this. My teammate took out a bow, I believe, yep. And then this Tick is dead now. So we're in a pretty good position. Have our own half of the map and the other team's stuck on one half. One thing about the bow mines, because your teammate's most likely going to be a bow if you're doing this push, is make sure you put them at a choke point. If you don't know what choke point is, it's like basically an entranceway, but do it at an entranceway that cuts off more than one entrance for the best value. And I pretty dumbly walk into a bow mine, but we have the win secured here. Or almost. It's a primo, so we should just be able to wrap it up. And yeah, it's going to be for the second game. So now hopping into the, I believe this is the rank 30 game. Not the best performance, but we still got it done. This push was pretty easy just because how strong Tick is. Really anywhere right now, especially duos. So yeah, send double mid, and then Tick go on the outside. The only reason is that you're seeing like Nitas and pretty off-meta brawlers is because our matchmaking was fairly cleared at this point. We've been playing for about 3 hours doing this push from about 8:20 or like 8:40-ish. Pretty good win rate as well. I'd say one of my easiest rank 30s. So I played a little bit too aggro right here. I should have been backing up. Obviously, at the star power, you could be healing all these times, like in between your shots, which is really good value, but I don't have it. So this Tara right here, I see he doesn't have the clone gadget or whatever you want to call it, so I knew he couldn't tank those, so I just threw it on him. We know we had the dub secured because we saw the other teams didn't have a lot of cubes, and we have good positioning. His mines are down. I'm cycling heads now. And yeah. As you'll see, I knew we had the win, so I started playing fairly dumb right here. Walk right into a bow. Don't judge me in the comments. Okay, we got a little close here, but we'll pull it off in the end. So we're in a good spot right here. We have the whole bottom to ourselves. And we have the mines blocking off the left side, so it's kind of hard to get pinched. Yeah, so that Tara is barely alive, and then it's just the bow. So right here, we pretty much got the dub. Yeah, so that's going to pretty much wrap up the video here. If you haven't pushed Tick already, I'd recommend doing it soon, whether it's with a max or with a bow on Cavern Churn. Just get it done. If you enjoyed, make sure to like and subscribe. Thank you.